What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Clock's running, the podcast for everything flag football officials. I'm your host, Ant. Zane is stuck at some beach in Miami right now, relaxing, probably with a drink of choice, but he's not able to make it tonight. We are live, and we have officials from coast to coast. Let me bring them on. We got Lance from the West Coast. We got Jakob from the East Coast. What's up, guys?
What's up?
So I know we're all back home. We're recovered a little bit from Miami. I'm just so excited for tonight's shows as we recap the USA Flag Miami Cup. And what a weekend it was. Very exciting with fours, fives, co-ed, youth, men's and women's. For me personally, it was my first time in Miami. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but in Miami, they do something real strange when someone scores a touchdown. I don't know if you guys heard this. Maybe I heard it wrong, but there were a lot of Miami teams, and these players, I'm running down the field, making sure I get there right on the goal line, signal touchdown, and I hear the whole sideline go, Razzle Dazzle. Did you guys hear that at all?
No.
No?
That's
okay,
maybe that's a wreck and cop thing.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was just me. I don't know.
I mean, I guess that's sometimes just how the Jello jiggles when people got different, catchphrases. But hey, I mean,
you know what I mean? You score that touchdown. Oh yeah, every Miami team was doing it. It just
adults and youth.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Razzle Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle. So anyway, let's get right into go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jakob.
I got nothing. I'm baffled.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding around. Just having some fun. But let's get right into this first. Topic. I saw this in one of my games, but Jakob, I want you to just kind of explain the cooldown period, the 5-play cooldown period, and just maybe give an example of when it should be used.
Yeah, so you think you have times in games where emotions get high. Sometimes there's actions in the game that maybe are a little bit questionable, maybe not necessarily justified by an unsportsmanlike, or someone really hasn't crossed that line, but they're getting close. Or maybe they have crossed that line and maybe, hey, to de-escalate a situation, we want to sit them down, but we don't want to kick them out. So we have what's called the 5-play cooldown. It's just a time for players to either calm down or to escalate themselves further to get to where they're ejected. I think it's probably one of the best tools we have as officials that USA Flag provides us. We're able to sit players down. We're able to calm situations down. And most of the time, the teams actually police it better than we do. The second we give a cool down, they immediately, you'll see captains, you'll see other players, they'll get on the sideline. Hey, man, you got to chill out. You're gonna cost us this game just by acting the fool. A good example would be, I'll give two. So you have one that's non-football related, right? Where, sometimes a little jaw jacking goes a little bit too far and players are, a little scuffle can start to happen, or, people are getting in each other's faces and instead of kicking them out, and we want people to play, hey, sit them down for 5 plays, both of you calm down, come back when, once you've had that cool down. On a football side, you might have somebody who, tackles somebody basically, and it's they're not going for the flag, or they hit them high and or something like that. And it's not a football action, and maybe it's just kind of a freak thing. Maybe it's not necessarily malicious. Maybe it is malicious, but instead of saying, hey, we're going to kick you out, we give them a cool down, sit for 5 plays, think about this. Let's not let this happen again. And if it does, you're done.
Yeah. So Lance, did you have a situation this past weekend that could have definitely used that cool down period?
No, we actually used a cool down period on Sunday, where I think it was Los Reyes. I forget who it was. Basically, we just told them, hey, 5 plays, just step off to the side. He was jawing at, he was just jawing, and we were like saying, "Hey, calm down." Even Pablo and them were like, "Hey, shut up." So he had his 5 play cooldown, and basically for the rest of that game and the rest of actually the entire rest of the day, he was fine. So it does, to Jacob's point, it is one of those unique tools that we have in our toolbox. To be honest with you, we should be using it more in more cases.
I
Um,
agree.
Escalates, but at the same time, it is good to have as part of as something that we can use to sort of just de-escalate as much as we can, because as Jacob pointed out, we want players to play. That's why you guys travel. That's why you guys pay money to travel. So we want you guys to play. We want you guys to excel, and don't make us as the refs actually have to dictate whether or not you're playing. Let your play dictate that. So
Completely
it's
agree.
those good tools to have.
I noticed, like, once it's something that I started using, I used it in Santa Clarita, and from there, I feel a lot more comfortable of kind of distinguishing when to use it and when maybe something else is more appropriate. I saw our island boy Dean in Miami use it very quickly in one game, and I was impressed, but I also worried about his safety because he jumped in the middle of a fight pretty quickly as well. So he did use the cooldown period, but that was after he got ran through by a player because he decided to try to get in the middle of a fight.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate it, but he definitely got hurt a little bit there.
He's learning. This is only his second tournament. Leave him alone. He's learning.
The thing about it is the downs as a fit. Like there's sometimes you want to be proactive and prevent some of that stuff from happening, but there's other times where it's just like, man, let a director break that up or let the teams break that up. Don't just sit back and take numbers, because you'll get somebody who tries to go at you, and it could be completely unintentional that you get caught in the crossfire, but there's nothing worse than an official getting hit.
Yes.
For sure. And I think that, I had a conversation with Dean afterwards. I don't know how they do it in the Cayman Islands. Maybe they just have a lot of brawls and the refs get right in the middle of it. And, I don't know.
Boys throw down.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on from there. I know we had a lot of other hooting and hollering, and it comes with the territory in Florida. I know, guys in Florida are just passionate about football. So I think there were definitely some intense moments, some intense games. Kind of going into the morning, we kind of had that pep talk when it's Miami versus Florida. Just expect it, or Miami versus Orlando. Just expect it to heat up pretty quick, and try. We really wanted to try our best to control what we could. So that led some exciting games. I did not officiate fours at all, but Lance, I know you did. Can you speak on first off just the differences between fours and fives, and what really stood out to you about this past weekend in the fours bracket?
So fours is so the basic difference between fours and fives is that behind the line of scrimmage, you are only allowed one throwback before a forward pass. You can have multiple throwbacks, but if you do multiple throwbacks, you have to run. That's essentially the biggest biggest delta between the two formats, fours and fives. Fours is based on it's a lot of speed, especially when you're doing pro/elite talent. I'm especially in a 2-man crew doing a lot of running, playing catch up. So it's always fun to watch fours, just because it is a lots of one-on-one. But talent level, as expected, coming out of Miami or just in Florida in general, is just phenomenal. So that's what I got out of it more than anything else, is just quality, just good quality football at that level.
Yeah. So, and was it a fours game that you had your little situation happen on the sideline, or what, what format was that?
So it was Nas versus Los Reyes, I believe. Nas was was on the plus side. I want to say it was first down. So it was a dart. It was a dart left, and I was on the sideline. It's a dart left. Guy caught it, tried to do a jump, and the defender, pulling flags, and just I see the body coming at me, and I'm like, I can't move. You're in that weird mode of like, what do I do? I can't go left or right because I don't know where I'm going. So yeah, apparently, according to TJ and a couple other people, I got air. Like my entire body was horizontal, and I landed flat on my face. Took me a couple seconds to get all my bearings. Typically I try and feel my fingers and my toes. All that was there, so I got up and continued on. But it's one of those struggles where you're like, you try and get out of the way, but you're in an awkward position where you're like, don't have time, gotta absorb it. But guys were supportive. I had a lot of people come up to me after the game, just checking up on me, which was highly appreciative.
Lance is down.
Jacob, can you?
That's that's all I hear. Lance is down. Oh man, sorry.
And it's so. No, that was my question. What, from your point of view, what happened and how did you handle that situation?
I was at the tent for a second. Lance was where Lance was. He was around a corner where I couldn't exactly see that part. And like I said, all I hear is Lance is down. Lance is down. So I bolt around the corner to see like 20 people around him. They're trying to lift him up. And I get over there to him and I'm like, what happened? And all I hear was, Lance got ran over. Blah, 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 blah. So I wanted, I told him, I said, if you can take a break, I'll finish the game for you. We'll get through it. And he was like, no, I'm good. Let me keep going. I said, all right. So it's, they say officials are part of the field, but man, it's tough being a part of that field.
Yes.
Oh man.
And the next question is there any video of this?
I wish.
I want to see it. I want to see if I get air because I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I forget who said. I think it was either YG or one of the guys on Los Reyes. Literally said, "Dude, your face was like, and you can move." They literally said your face is like, what do I do?
It's terrible to laugh, but I feel like at this point it's okay.
Right, and I'll be the first to admit, like at that point, we're like, oh, what the hell's going on? But now that I think about it, it's just one of those awkward momentary situations where you're like, there's nothing I can do. I just got to absorb it, and just pick myself up. But again, super appreciative by all those people that came over to just check up on me. It was super appreciative.
Yeah. I had a situation happen about 6 months ago in a local league where the receiver just made a juke move and the DB got completely faked out and he went right into my legs, and there was drone footage of it, and I definitely got air and my face hit the ground, but I more than anything, I right away I was like, is my knee okay? Can I walk? Got back up and you just want to keep going at that point. You don't want to be the reason that a game has to slow down. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So Jacob, just on the topic of fours, do you notice, just kind of from your perspective, that the teams adjust their rosters a lot from fives to fours, or does it seem like it just kind of stays the same?
Man, to me, it stays the same. It's, essentially, you're just losing. In my mind, you're just losing a receiver and a DB, maybe a rusher, just depending on what you do. To me, I would keep the same roster. I wouldn't change anything because you have more rotation. You have more people that you can sub out, let somebody get a quick breather while you're sending somebody else flying down the field. Because again, like it's with fours, if you make one person miss once you have the ball, you've all but scored a touchdown. So I in my mind, I wouldn't change anything. And I don't see a lot of teams changing their roster, especially since the roster sizes are the same. No, they're not, because it's 10 with 4s and
Yeah.
12 with 5s. So most guys carry 10 anyways. They don't play with a full roster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is
Yeah, and so do you go ahead?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, is fours, did that start in Florida? Is that where that style came from, or you know?
I couldn't tell you the origin of 4s, but I mean they play a lot of it there. Jacksonville, Miami, those are the two big spots for 4s. They do a lot of it there. I think the Orlando, Tampa area, they've kind of adapted. They've got away from 7s and moved more towards 5s and doing that. And it's just kind of, it's kind of grown from that.
I think when I played fours, I really didn't like it just because I'm not fast, and like it did not make sense. Like if I'm not rushing, I'm not someone that can drop back into coverage. So like I don't have that dual threat in me. But then as an official, I started to love fours, and just really thought, started to understand like the dynamics of it and how it can be so exciting. And you definitely see a lot of games where it's like 38-35 at a final score and things like that.
Yep, it's all offense.
So, what did you say?
I said it's just all offense.
Yeah. So next topic I just want to talk about is air it out. So Jacob, if you can just kind of explain, same thing, like the differences between air it out and regular 5s.
So air it out, the differences, it bases off of our 5 non-contact rules. The few differences are you have 4 downs to get to midfield, you have 4 downs to score. You get 3 timeouts a game. And then the biggest one is there's no running, pitching, lateraling, behind the line of scrimmage, downfield, anything like that. So essentially the quarterback takes the snap, makes a forward pass, and the runner advances as far as they can without getting their flag pulled.
Gotcha. So, Lance, what did you notice in Miami about air it out? Was there like such a difference between the talent of teams between air it out and regular 5s?
Well, to Jacob's point, a lot of the teams that played 5s also played 4s and also played 5s air it out. I think it's not so much the teams, but from a schematic, how they run their offense. They like the handoff is not there. And, the throwbacks aren't there. So they have to go after what they're doing. We lost Ant.
Oh, is he not there?
He's
no, he stalled out. Wait, he's coming back. There we go. You're cloned.
Hey, there are 2 of you. Anyways, going back to in the air it out, it's more about scheme because you lose the throwbacks. So I think it benefits defenses more because you don't have to worry about the throwbacks. So I like the air it out format as a defender because I don't have to worry about throwbacks. I don't have to worry about pitches. I don't have to worry about a double quarterback or a triple quarterback. I can just go after, if I'm rushing, I'm just going after one guy. If I'm playing linebacker, I'm only having to worry about the one person that I'm in front of if we're playing man straight across versus all the throwback stuff that you would normally see in 5s non-contact. So that's the biggest difference from my perspective. I think talent level, they're all the same, but it's more about scheme.
Definitely agree. And I think also you add in the fact that the format, it attracts more like tackle football players in my mind to bring them to transition over. They don't have to worry about the element of throwbacks, of pitches, of lateral. They don't have to worry about that part of the game quite yet. This would be a good, like almost an introductory 2-5 non-contact.
So we lost Ant again.
Did we lose him again? Dang, Ant. Just a bad day of service. Yeah. So what did you think of the air it out, the teams that we had this weekend?
I mean, it's all Florida team, so especially at the pro elite level, I'm running. Yeah. So I normally do a lot of I kind of forcibly did especially more on Sunday on the fours, but we did a lot of changing of positions on the refs on the stripe side, so just getting a different perspective. So, but at the end of the day, I think the talent level, Florida's just different. Like you just see play calling is different, athleticism is different. So, I was just you're just like okay, got to run now, so type of thing.
It's just about every play too. I mean, they pretty much. I mean, they eat, sleep, breathe it there. So yeah, I think air it out's the biggest anomaly to them, but they've figured it out in my mind.
Yes, I think air it out is probably going to be actually more popular than Gauntlet.
I agree. I definitely agree. Gauntlet was fun, but I don't think some of the contact.
There's too many nuances that are not
what
I would consider normal. Like for instance, you can't take the snap under center in Gauntlet, but you can in air it out.
Mm-hmm.
And some teams I know, like especially even on the Florida side, they like to take it under center.
Yep.
So you can't, right? So that takes away kind of their scheme. But I think air it out's going to be a more popular format than Gauntlet.
I agree too. And I don't think they like the fact that you can jam with the line. I know some of them, talk tough and everything, but I don't. For non-contact teams, I don't think that's an appealing thing.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
Ant, are you back?
Are you with us?
Yeah. I'm having a hard time hearing you guys, but you guys are having a great discussion. I'm just listening in.
What do you think?
So as far as air it out goes, I think it's a good format. I appreciate I guess in my eyes, it's like it gives the quarterback that maybe is older and not mobile anymore the opportunity to continue playing, which is great. I noticed, so I ended up getting added to the air it out championship game. That was a great game. And Lance, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't that finish like 13-12? I mean, that was a back and forth game. It was really close the entire time. And I mean, I don't know. I think it was a good adjustment between teams that were playing fives and made it really deep into that bracket. And they went and air it out and translated pretty well. So,
yep.
Agree with that.
Yeah, so just finally, I wanted to touch on youth a little bit just because me and Jordan were officiating youth on Sunday, and apparently we missed out on all the action on Lance's field. We missed out on basically an entire circus that was happening on that field, but like,
calm down.
I mean, yeah, just like, there was it was hard not to get distracted. We were maybe like, 75 yards away or something like that. But ever so often I would see something going on over on the main pro field. So I think Lance probably had a lot more exciting Sunday than I did in that sense.
Especially in the afternoon.
But yeah.
So tell us what you think of youth.
What did you say?
I said, tell us what you thought of youth, because this was really like, dealing with the Florida teams. They're different just as well as, what you've dealt with like in Texas and California and stuff. Did you hear any of it?
Nah, I didn't hear you.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, try ask that question.
So, what did you think of the youth, like the teams and stuff that you did see, while you were working in Miami? And he froze.
The joys.
Yep.
And he comes back.
Look, we get double Ant. There we go. Hey, buddy. Nothing. Can you hear us?
I can't sign language, so can you hear
All right.
us?
I only know a couple things in sign language, and they're not appropriate. So.
This is the problem with going live, I think.
Yeah, this might be that. It might just mean we need to record it and just. Huh. Okay. Can you hear us?
So basically, I think you guys can hear each other. You guys can hear me. I can't hear you guys. Is what's happening.
Yeah.
So I'll say this.
And he said it.
He said it to end it. Oh man. Well, we tried. What a episode 8. What an episode 8. Sometimes it's just the way the Jello jiggles, folks.
No Jello jiggling here, please.
I think that's completely appropriate for what's happening right now.
Not Jello jiggling. We're not doing Jello jiggling.
Jello jiggling. Oh man.
I don't know if he's gonna make it back on.
Yeah, I don't either. I think he's trying to get back on.
Well, why don't we make it a call? Why don't we make the call? Oh, wait.
Wait. Do we got him? Hey, buddy. Can you hear us now?
He's in the backseat.
He's gonna figure this
out. So are we good?
No.
Good. Good. Yes. No. Down. Up.
Can you hear us? Oh boy, he's angry typing. Maybe not. So maybe we just do the pre-recording stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be our best bet in the future. But we had to try it to find out.
Yes. Could be also the time of day because
could be that too.
we're late in the afternoon our time. So depending on his service level, it could be completely bandwidth
related. Yep.
So, yep. So well, on that note, we want to call it?
Yep, I think so.
All righty. Have a good rest of the day, Jacob, and we'll talk next time.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, just remember to like, share, subscribe, all the things, all the angles. Usually our man Ant hits that, clock's running. But make sure you guys are hitting that. The more views we get, the more likes we get. Especially with Instagram, we can start doing IG live. I think that'd be a pretty cool facet, but we just got to get these likes up. So anyways, you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.